Hey guys, it's Eddie the Magic Monk. Welcome to another VBA lesson. So last lesson we talked about using case statements instead of an if statement. And today we want to talk about using loops. So a loop is used when you want to repeat an instruction or a set of instructions over and over again for a certain amount of times. So let's do a quick example. So let's go to our code. Right, there's our code here. And let's say that I want to make Excel say hello to me 10 times when I click the calculate average button. So you might say, why would you ever want to do that? But this is just an example. So it says when the calculate average routine subroutine is executed, I'm going to say message box, and I'm just going to say something like hello. Okay, so if you do this, what's going to happen is if you save, Control S, run the program by clicking calculate average, it says hello, but it only says it once. What if I wanted to say 3 times? So what I can do is I can go into the code and I can say message box hello. I can just copy and paste that 3 times. But that is not a very efficient way, because if you guys remember, our goal from the last few lessons is to not write the same code over and over again. Because let's say I wanted to change the message from hello to hi, I'd have to change it 3 times or something like that. So let's run this just to see that it's working. So I go calculate average, it says hello once, says hello again, says hello again, says hello 3 times. So I want to change that. So press Alt F11. So a way of changing this code so that I don't have to retype this over and over again is to use what's called a for loop. So this might be a good time for me to show you where all the documentation is for the code. So the documentation for VBA is located under this web address inside the Microsoft Developer Network. So if you go to this address and you simply go to so it's Office VBA reference, and then you can go to VBA language reference, wherever that is, language reference VBA. And then if you go to language reference, and we were looking at different types of statements. So we have already talked about the if statement, and we've also talked about the select case statement. So where is that one? Select case statement. So we've done these 2 things, and now we're going to look at the for statement. So it's this one right here. So then this will explain to you what the statement does. So basically it says repeats a group of statements a specified number of times. So how do we repeat this line a specified number of times? So then you just go for, and then you can type whatever variable name that you want right now. We'll explain later what variables can do, but basically for now, just think of it as a box that you can put any number you want in there. So we're going to say the letter X contains the number 1, X equals 1, and then we're going to increase it by 1 continuously until we get to 3 for X equals 1 to 3. And then we're going to print out hello, and then we only need to type that once now, and then we're going to put next X. So what is it saying? Is it saying that the letter X is going to equal 1 initially? We're going to run this, and then we're going to increase X by 1. That's what next X means. So X is now going to be equal to 2. We're going to run this, and then X will be equal to 3. We're going to run this, and then it's finished, because we only want to increase X until 3. So if I save this code, and if I run it, click calculate average, it says hello 1 2 3 3 times. So that's cool. Now you might say, when would I ever need to say hello 3 times? Now that is a very good question. So I'm going to use the for loop and use it as a way for me to repeat a certain thing over a number of times. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at each one of these exam results, and then I'm going to give it a grade of A, B, C, D, E based on the number. So if it's bigger than 80, give it an A. If it's bigger than 60, give it a B, something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a for statement. So other than a for statement, I also need to introduce you guys to another concept called cells. So what cells does is it can refer to a certain cell by using the row. How many rows is it from the top? So you can see here, this cell right here is 7 rows from the top. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So I can refer to that by typing 7. And then the column is 1 2 3, so 7 3 instead of C. Now this is useful because if you guys have a look at the range method, if I use the range property to refer to the cell, it has a letter there. So by using cells, I can refer to a cell by just using numbers, no letters. So cell 73 equals 20. Okay, that's just a little experiment to see if I can change this number from 90 to 20. So I'm going to save that, and let's click calculate average. And you can see this number is now 20, which I have set using this button. So let's go back and let's delete the message box. And instead of saying message box hello, I'm going to put this into here. And instead of saying cell X, cell 73, I'm going to say cell X and 3. And then instead of saying X is between 1 to 3, I'm going to say X is between 7 to 9. And you'll see why in a second. So if I save this, run the program, X is between 7, 8, and 9, and the column is the third column. So you can see that using this code, I was able to turn these 3 numbers all into 20. Okay, so now instead of setting the cell value, I'm going to use an if statement. Okay, so I'm going to say if cells X3 is bigger than or equal to 50, then cells X4 dot value, actually I forgot the dot value there because I want the value of the cell to be checked. So the value is going to say pass. End if. Okay, so it's now going to check these 3 cells. If the number is bigger than 50, it's going to say pass. So now let's get rid of all the space. Put a little indent here. Okay, save it and let's check whether it does that. So let's just check, make one of them 80 and just click that. Okay, so you can see here the cell next to 80 says pass. Right, so that's pretty useful. So rather than end if, I can say else. Else it'll say fail. Okay, so save that and run the code. Okay, so you can see I failed 2 exams, I've passed 1 exam. So let's do 90, 30, 52. Calculate average, pass, fail, pass. So that's really cool. Okay, I hope you guys learned something today. See you guys next time.